welcome, Victoria. Thanks for joining me today. I'm very excited to have you here.
Hi, Migla. Thank you for the invitation. Likewise, really excited.
Awesome. So, I think just to get started, it would be really awesome if you could introduce yourself to our listeners so they know what's your background.
Sure. So shortly, I'm Victoria or Vic Ratomska. I've been in affiliate marketing since 2012. So already counting on 14 years. Seems like a lifetime. And over those 14 years, I changed quite some industries. Started from iGaming industry, spent 7 years there. At the time, I worked at the biggest poker affiliate globally, Poker News. I think I learned everything, all the base about affiliate marketing, from negotiations to tracking to deals making, growing partnerships, and some of them are still active up to today. So, as mentioned, changed a few industries, worked in SaaS industry, in fintech, some e-commerce, and 7 years ago started consulting various companies in affiliate marketing field. And today I run an agency called PartnerGap, where we help brands fix, grow, scale, launch affiliate marketing in SaaS, iGaming, gaming, e-commerce, health and wellness.
Amazing journey and quite a few years in the industry. How comes an agency? How did you end up going that direction?
Honestly, never thought I would end up with my own business, with my own agency, but it happened naturally over the time because I started getting inquiries. Vic, can you help us launch affiliate marketing? We heard that it's a very good field. Or can you assist to enter a new market? Or can you teach our people how to do it? So step by step, after deciding to leave fintech industry, there was a chance with a lot of time and some new journeys.
Yeah, makes sense. It's the nicest, I think, when it happens naturally, right? You kind of get those clients even before you start looking for them, and you really feel like there's a need. Oh, I can help here. I know this. I can actually use my time to do that.
Yeah,
That's
for
really
sure.
awesome. In general, did you ever thought that you will stay in this industry long term? I like to ask this question because I feel like a lot of people always have interesting answers here and how everyone kind of ended up or stayed in iGaming in general.
It's funny. Being based in Lithuania and all those years ago, online gambling was such a secret, I would say,
For
or
sure.
a very cliche surrounded industry. I never actually thought that I would work in such an industry. And I got an offer or a first inquiry to join a company, well, to join Poker News, actually during my friend's wedding, where
Wow.
where a person, I knew that guy from school, and we just were chatting, and he's like, "Hey, we need a business intelligence analyst in our team. It's a tech team working in digital marketing globally, etc., etc." I laughed it off, but I was invited into the interview. I got the role. First of all, yeah, I did business intelligence and analytics, and after short time, I switched to marketing and to sales, and that was it. I think I fell in love with affiliate marketing from the first days where I got to understand this is how the money can be made. And wow, this is how much power good content has, and how huge audiences can be monetized through, very specific, promotional campaigns or activities. And this is how to scale. This is what fraud is. And yeah,
Yes.
I always say that affiliate marketing is forever.
What are some maybe misconceptions or maybe things that people don't realize what it's like actually running an affiliate agency in this industry?
There's always good and bad. To maintain the quality is my biggest focus, I would say, because there's a lot of agencies that bring bad rep due to working with very low quality traffic, very low quality affiliates, basically providing click fraud, fraudulent clients, and looking to make a quick buck, burning the bridges and never turning back. So this is not a sustainable business model. So I would say one of the most important things is who's running the agency and what reputation that person has. I won't lie saying that around like 90% of business came through me directly. People contacting because they saw my experience, they spoke to someone, they heard something, and this is how we onboard clients. And I take it full responsibility on myself to maintain the reputation, to do the hard work, to keep up with what has to be done to get further good feedback and not to fall off the wagon.
This is something very important you touched, actually, that when working as an agency, right, you are the brand. In many cases, you are the brand. It's not the company name necessarily, which of course every agency works on growing the branding and the name and the recognition in the industry. But I think a very important thing is that you are the brand, and your expertise, your trust is something extremely important when onboarding clients. Yeah, this is very interesting because your angle is quite different from the guest I had before, or the affiliate topic. You do work independently and you do see a lot of things happening in the industry. So if I could ask you something I think something that is sometimes very obvious to many people and sometimes extremely hard to understand. Why does paying affiliates more not always mean success?
Very good question. In today's world, I guess every marketer has heard, that, well, not even marketer, but working for the brands, you can hear like marketing, everything is marketing. You can sell anything with marketing. Well, yes and no. If your product or service is of a bad quality, you can pay whatever you want. It still won't convert. And for affiliates, it doesn't make sense to promote a company with a very high commission that doesn't convert. Sometimes a brand who has default commission or just, I don't know, your industry average commission and has a very good conversion rate will be preferred way more than, those who are coming in with like a very high price tag. We'll do everything. We'll pay you $1,000 CPA. We do good. We're the best. A grain of salt has to be taken at all times in these cases.
But when as an operator, when as a brand, do you really know that, okay, this is where I should not maybe pay more? Maybe I should start looking into some issues on my side, something that I can improve otherwise. Because I do feel like it's not an easy to know when to draw that line when affiliate is demanding higher payments or simply other brands are paying higher rates and therefore your brand is not at the top list or it's not working with the top affiliates. Just increasing that rate, we understand, right? That it does not mean that it's going to guarantee the success. It does not guarantee the conversions. But how do you, I guess, think about drawing that line and understanding when it's the brand and not the CPA rate, for example?
Yeah. It's a complex thing. There's a cliche that affiliate marketing is easy. You pay affiliates and they promote and people just come.
And here are the users, right? So you just pay the rates and you get the users. That's all.
Yeah, and the users are of top quality and they all deposit and everything converts and this is amazing. The competition today is harsh. It's really, really harsh. I read somewhere we have a couple of hundred online casinos opening every year and more than half of it closing in the same year. So the load that affiliates are also getting, it's huge. And this is both good and bad because for once affiliates can, put their terms very high or entry bar at higher, let's say, rate, which makes sense because you want to filter out who is coming to work with you and you have a trust of your audience, so who you are working with, which brands you're promoting. And the other side is that it's way harder for new legit brands to break the barriers to work with good affiliates. Talking about the commission when it's the brand and not the affiliate, we have all these statistics that we track. Yes, we have clicks, we have FTDs, conversion rates, we have returning customers. We have all these metrics that we track. Obviously, if the brand is fresh from the start, there's no historical data, but there are benchmark numbers. You can base decisions on that. If you have this historical data, you can compare every affiliate based on your average in the group of similar affiliates, be it PPC, be it SEO or other channels. So first of all, you compare how they are doing on average if looking at the bigger picture. Then obviously we look at the, let's say, few months. Has it changed? Has the conversion rate dropped? Has the bounce rate increased or something like this? There's a lot of data analysis. And then if everything seems to check out from our side and the affiliate is pushing for higher commission, or we want to give higher commission in order to get more traffic, from our side, we're making a step forward to strengthen the partnership. That's fine. If the affiliate is asking why they are asking, do they feel that we're becoming a stronger brand and they can push us higher up? Or as I said, is this just competition? So it's actually very complex data analysis and ongoing negotiation process where you can never close your eyes and just go, like, sure, let's agree with whatever goes. And one more note, talk to your affiliate. They will tell you. If you maintain and grow good relationship, oftentimes they will tell you if you're doing good, why they want to increase the commission, or they don't want you to get higher positions. They will tell you the truth. They will say like, look, this brand converts well. You don't have the landing page. You don't have the offer of this or that. Or let's do more because this, and that.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And as you mentioned, the data analytics, right, part, this is something not to be skipped, as well as the negotiations. It's part of negotiations. I think a lot of people have to remember that it is very much a partnerships and sales job always, not just the traffic kind of, it's just to make sure that you're understanding the data that you have in your back office where you can see it, as well as you are speaking with the affiliates. You mentioned traffic quality earlier as well. This is something that everyone looks at, mostly from the operator side, maybe not as often from the affiliate side. Maybe sometimes affiliates don't even have visibility on it. How do you go around the traffic quality? What are some first signs that you would look into to understand if the quality might be going down?
That's a tricky one. Do we ever know where to look at? 100%. Obviously, let's start from the geos that we work with. Working with the affiliates, and especially with new affiliates, I've learned the hard way myself that not checking the terms and conditions or agreements or IOs sometimes can hurt you as a brand, because affiliates will try to send you traffic from not preferred geos, from random geos. So again, let's start from data monitoring, where the traffic is coming from. Yes. And then the types of affiliates, I think, are also really important here. If we're working with your traditional SEO content affiliates that we know have been stable for a long while, they have their audiences, have their content, newsletters, social media, we can expect a certain level of quality there, because we know what's happening there. Yes, we see it. We have, I guess, the most tricky part is PPC affiliates, media buying, all that sort, because you can never know for sure where the traffic is coming from, as you said. So doing the tests, the CAP tests with very clear rules is one of the ways to ensure the traffic that you're getting is of the desired quality. And still, as their affiliates are doing their job the best as they can in most of the cases, not always they will know that all the traffic they send is of a top quality. But we have to have our averages. Again, we have to look at this pretty closely. Once the tests are done, and the campaigns are being scaled, let's say in the success cases, it's really important to monitor on the daily basis. Oh gosh, there's so much monitoring. It feels like 60% of the time is data monitoring, analyzing, and other part of the time is negotiations, doesn't it? Yeah,
For
but
sure.
that's
Yeah.
how it goes.
But when you talk about the tests, right? You mentioned that you do have to get a very clear test data with a cap with very strict rules in some cases. What are those strict rules that you are looking in? Is it, I don't know, the minimum deposit? What would be the rules that you would put on an affiliate for a test?
Affiliates never want to have very strict rules. They want to have more freedom. It would be ideal to have one deposit, but if we can ask for cumulative deposits for first and the second, that would be best. How much time we're giving for the second deposit? That's the question. Again, we sort of know, we might know the window when it happens, but there are late conversions, there are all the other matters. I would look in geos, I would look in cumulative deposits, and then overall activities of the account. And that's it. The test budgets for the tests should be understood as the test. You shouldn't, you can never look at it as something that will for sure return the investment because it's a test.
But do you feel like many operators today will want to do a test with an affiliate? And here, commonly, I'm speaking about sources like media buying, sources like PPC, where we just have a lack of visibility as an operator, lack of understanding where we are being published and advertised. Do you feel like affiliates are getting wiser in that case as well? Using the channels they want for the test and maybe later on, using different channels and so on. So that monitoring never stops, right? It's a test, yes, but it's not a guarantee.
For sure. For sure. We can't make it an absolute. There are good cases, bad cases, everything in between. But yeah, there are cases where the test will look brilliant. It's like in a dating. The honeymoon phase is brilliant. It's amazing.
Good example.
And then who washes the dishes and who takes out the trash?
Yes.
So yeah, the monitoring has to be constant. And this also goes back to the brand themselves, because we've heard about the cases where the brands try to cheat the affiliates as well. And in today's world, affiliates are getting smart in a way where they test the brands as well with
Very good point.
Exactly. And I love it. I love this. If you are a hardworking affiliate, putting your budgets, putting your hours, putting the hard work, and you come across cases where the brand tries to take away the earned money, that's not the game to play, really.
Of course, it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, exactly. But definitely there are cases where affiliates try to lower the quality or skew, let's say, the quality afterwards. And I think in iGaming industry, the tracking systems are so good. They're so good if compared to other industries and the platforms or the networks I've worked with over the years. I've never had such a detailed reporting, well, until maybe recently, as we've had back in a day already in iGaming.
Okay, that's very interesting. So the insights that we are actually getting in regards to data, you're saying that it's actually really good. We are getting a lot of information. It's just a question of what we do with that information and how we analyze it.
Yeah.
So if I go a little bit more into the quality of traffic, right? So we have to monitor the account activity. That's something you mentioned. Accumulate deposits to see if the players are actually active, if they are coming back. Those are kind of the key things that you mentioned. Is there any other metric that I don't know, someone who is new in affiliate management or is joining an operator as an affiliate manager should really look into when it's looking at, I don't know, it started a new partnership with a new affiliate. What are those numbers between all those reports? And there can be a lot of data. What should they focus on?
Look at the high rollers. Is everything checking out, and does everything check out? Because sometimes there might be very complex fraud cases there as well. It's not very usual maybe, and today our fraud teams and overall data analysis can give us a very good insight on this. Definitely look into discrepancies if the clicks are starting to come in and there's just clicks, basically spam, cut it off. There is no need to hold on to the partners like this. Sometimes you contact the affiliate and say like, look, you're sending like tons of traffic, just empty clicks from everywhere. There's something shady going on. and they will say like, no, come on, what you're talking about. They always know what you're talking about. It can't be, unless it's a network that has like hundreds of affiliates underneath, but they still know what they're doing. If
They still probably know, right? Even if it's a
Yeah.
network, they will still be able to check their sources.
Yeah, and basically, if you follow the honey drama or other like coupon discounts drama in the affiliate marketing industry, it's widely spoken about that all the affiliate networks know what's happening, but until recently they didn't do anything. It's the same with the affiliates. If it's too good to be true, if it smells fishy, there is something going on. Another important thing, always look out for, it's a simple one, quite often forgotten, always look for brand bidders. Just check. If you don't have tools in-house, just check manually from time to time if there is no one bidding on your brand and taking that direct traffic from you.
Very good advice, for sure. Very, very good advice. Brand bidding is a very interesting thing I see all the time as well on my end. And it's sneaky and it's done smartly. And it's something that no operator should ever, put full trust onto the affiliates in that regard.
Yeah,
You are
it's so
responsible of that.
sneaky. I mean, with ad hijacking, you sometimes don't even notice the flicker of the page and that something is changing. Honestly, one of the best extensions, best tools I've ever used for this thing for years is Redirect Path.
Mhm.
Whenever you have these doubts, it's just there. We caught quite some brand bidders this way for our clients, and overall, out of curiosity, just looking around for when you're doing analysis or something on the brands, you can catch some of the
Yes.
affiliates doing this.
Yes, I agree. Redirect Path is amazing on that. So this is, I guess, a good transition for us now because we did realize that regardless if you're an agency, if you're an affiliate manager, if you're head of affiliates, there is a lot to watch for and a lot to look for. There is a lot of data. There is a lot of important things that you have to notice. There is a lot of fraud. And there is quite a few tools now in the industry to help affiliate managers, to help operators with their affiliate efforts. And I do believe with this AI era, these tools are just going to increase going forward. What are your thoughts on all these tools? Do you feel like they're actually helpful, or do you feel like they are creating some kind of confusion in the industry?
I think for now, they're giving us a fake illusion that life can be made easier on working life. I'm not against the tools for sure. I just always look with, I'm a laggard in that case. I'm looking from far away and just monitoring how is it going and, waiting for the boom to sort of go on to the other side and checking what's the hype, where's the real product and where's just the hype. So I think all the tools that we're having or the enhancement of AI in the tools we already use is really good, but it has to be checked. Yes, I love automating outreach. I love automating affiliate research where possible or influencer research. But for example, some of the affiliate networks have automated AI-based affiliate approval process. This is maybe more relevant for other industries. And my God, it's so bad. It usually approves all your click spammers, all the shady networks, and rejects smaller normal affiliates. So whenever we see it, usually actually it's auto applied for the account. So once we create the accounts or once we start working with the clients where we see, this turned on, we right away turn it off. I have a strong belief that for now, affiliate vetting has to be done hands-on or has to have very strict rules, leaving answers, how you're doing, what you're doing, where you're doing, etc. I'm waiting for them to improve even more to actually help us with the hardest parts, I guess, the most time-consuming parts, finding the right contacts, finding the right affiliate partners.
I actually think this new AI era is going to be very interestingly unexpected. Let me explain why. I think that we, for a longest time, thought that the people that could potentially be replaced the fastest would be the people that need to respond. because it's something that can be quickly automated. It can be, you can send an email, you can create a live chat, you can respond to something. And with the newest AI updates, I feel like AI is actually really focused on creating quite incredible things in regards to like development, for example, the front end development, the databases, and so on, the data analytics, maybe in a lot of cases it can help you with. But I feel like the one role that is very important from the human perspective, which AI cannot do, is the partnerships, the connection, and the common sense, what you mentioned, right? There is one thing of using AI to solve a mathematical issue or a code issue. And there is another thing using AI to your example was great, right? An automated AI affiliate approval process. You can teach AI a lot of things about what to look in an affiliate, but affiliates can make the surface. Usually when you run, at least in my experience, when you run in the fraudulent affiliates, they almost always know the next answer.
Yeah.
Right? They know what to say, they know what to think, they know how to prepare their website, their landing page, and so on.
Exactly.
But you just click on it and you right away somehow know that this is not probably someone you should work with. I don't know,
Yeah.
some kind of witchcraft that starts an affiliation at some point. I'm not sure, but yes. So from your understanding, what I'm hearing from you, you are not worried that AI will take over affiliate managers' jobs. We are hearing this a lot now that, with different tools, with the way that we can analyze data, with the services, automated outreach, something that you mentioned, that some tools could take over affiliate managers' jobs. So you do not see that happening in the near future.
We hear it a lot on LinkedIn. Yeah, I don't believe that it will happen anytime soon. That AI will for sure change how we work. It will optimize some of the operations for executives, for seniors. It will make the junior roles look different, whereas some of the work that, as like data entry or something else, has been done earlier by junior people, now can be done with the help of AI, meaning the junior role will require the knowledge of AI tools for them to do the, let's say, most junior tasks that later on can be grown into something else. But for it to take our jobs, no. Can you imagine someone at casino.org answering to a ChatGPT email? You can't even reach them with like your original emails.
Exactly. It's so hard. We'll speak a little bit about that actually. But I think then we can make a conclusion that there can be reduction of very junior roles. In general, this is probably not affiliate management only, but with AI coming in, you will have to have certain skill or be a very fast learner to adapt to that. Because as you mentioned, someone who was just entering data into Google Sheet or something like that, that now will easily be replaced.
Yeah, definitely. We will see a lot of change in that. For example, my daughter is in preschool, so next year it's her first grade. Already she will be required to have a laptop, and from all the other things, they will also start learning step by step what is AI, what to do with it, how to work with it, etc. So can you imagine, like,
amazing and very, I don't know how to even say it. It's amazing and scary at the same time.
Scary. Yeah, it is scary.
For us, that's because the knowledge that she will have by the time she graduates high school is going to be insane.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's very different. It's a very different approach to than what we done in a primary school. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I like it actually because it's very important to learn and have critical thinking in this, let's call it new age, in this new age of AI. It's super important because if people our age can't see where there's AI and where it is like real content, that's a problem. And, we have to learn that for sure.
For sure. So when we talk about partnerships, human partnerships, not AI, we understand it's important. We understand that this is something I truly believe is going to stay as one of the strengths. Your network, the way you can connect with people is going to be very, very important going forward. You work fully remote, and am I understanding that? At least with majority of your clients, you work remotely.
Yeah, fully
How
remotely.
do you create partnerships in this digital and remote environment when you maybe often do not meet people? Maybe some affiliates you do not meet at all, ever, because they do
Yeah.
not travel to the conferences. How does that look like? How do you actually take a conversation and make it into a partnership?
Being your true self. um, you know, it's been done this way since when I started in the industry. Already then, when I started in 2012, yeah, all the communication was via email. I'm not sure
Even
Telegram was
harder,
not.
right? Because
Yeah,
email, I
well,
feel like email always builds this wall between you and someone in some kind of way. It's even harder to create a partnership there.
we had email, we had Skype, there was no Telegram.
Yeah.
WhatsApp was just starting to become more popular. So, and the calls, for example, online calls, you had some, but not everybody wanted them. I don't feel that about the email, honestly. I don't feel it being a wall unless you're getting a silent treatment. In that case, I mean, there is the hard part is contacting with new people. Yes, the affiliates today have a lot of incoming email traffic or
Yes.
Telegram traffic or Teams traffic or whatever. They're snowed under. It's really important for the brand, for the affiliate managers to know who they want to talk with. And I would say it's multi-touch communication if you're looking for new partners. You have to explore all the communication channels where you can find them. Obviously not on Instagram, maybe a bit too personal, but utilize email, utilize LinkedIn if some of the affiliates are there. Telegram for sure. So here we have affiliate marketing managers they have to know data analytics, they have to know negotiation, social media, but it is
Yes.
what it is for sure.
A lot of hats, right? One of
Yeah,
my tactics when I get a chance, and that is definitely not always, but when I start a new conversation with someone, or I jump on a first call with someone, or I just got an email intro, if it's someone that I can find on LinkedIn, I will go and add them there.
for
I
sure.
feel like that just right away creates some kind of, we know each other now. And it's not necessarily that is also beneficial for your network, for your future, to know what those people are up to. Mostly if they leave the company, where do they go, and so on. So it's very good to have that network on your LinkedIn. But I feel like even the conversation changes once that person accepts you on LinkedIn. Of course, if they're active on
You put a
LinkedIn,
face on it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Basically, put
you
a
do.
face. Yeah.
And that really helps. But do you have any, I don't know, other things? Would you ask a new person something more personal? Would you try to learn something about them as a person? Or would you keep everything like very professional? Like, this is the numbers, this is the band, this is the traffic. How do you ever feel like, okay, I can now go into a more friendly manner rather than just the numbers?
I usually say that you have to be friendly but not a friend. So basically, don't make it awkward and super professional. I mean, we're not a corporation here in a way. Well, some of the businesses are corporations, but
Yes.
we're not from like finance or the board. It is a fun industry in a way to work with. People are fun here. Go to the conference, like look at the vibe and everything. So obviously, talking to someone new, it's pretty hard to feel comfortable or not to feel a bit like, stressed. I would say not overthinking is the way. Maybe basing it on my own history. I was, when I started the role, I was 25, I think. So being 25, a woman, 14 years ago in iGaming industry, the only one in the team because previous team was let go, and having to deal with all the operators in that case, it was not an easy task.
For sure.
I was scared all the time for the first meetings, first conferences where I went alone. But you put a brave smile on, helps. The thing that helps, know the data. If you're an operator talking to affiliates, know your data, know who affiliate is working with, and start a very sort of light conversation about that. We would love to be, like that top one brand one day. I know, yeah, it's a long way to go, but hey, so how we can do that with you? Or I've seen you've been to the conferences. It will be my first one or second one. the last one was awesome, or my first one, I'm worried. Can we meet? Can you share any tips? Not over pushing it, but just making it normal in the conversation. So it's not too personal. It's about the industry, but not specifically about the business per se in that moment.
Be yourself. I like you started this answer with the opening, just kind of being yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it really makes sense. Being too robotic and too AI is not something that wins. Being friends is also not something that you can push through, at least not in the new partnerships, definitely, and not something that would work well in many cases. So yeah, just having that natural, I guess, maybe even wanting to actually learn more from the affiliate, being open to meet this new person. What are they working with? What else can I not necessarily gain from them, but what can I understand from what they do on their day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah, show them they're important, because they are. No matter what the size of the affiliate, you need their help. So show them the good attention, normal attention. What do you think we should do? Or things never worked, or we are just trying out. Obviously, don't give out too much, but just ask for tips and tricks. They usually share more when they feel appreciated and they see that you're invested in normal long-term partnership.
You mentioned something as well a bit earlier about the outreach. I don't know, sending an AI automated emails to clients like casino.org or other affiliates. And you mentioned that like even trying to get in touch with them now, it's not easy. What to talk about an AI trying to send an automated email. And this is not to speak only about casino.org. This is to speak about any large affiliate.
Yeah.
If you are a new brand, if you are a new operator, if you're trying to test or do something, it is very, very hard. And you mentioned earlier as well that it would be nice that the tools would maybe AI and tools companies would find ways to help affiliate managers, find ways to help operators how to find those contact details. My question then there is still, if this is shared with multiple operators, how quickly those contact details will have to be changed because of an overwhelming, probably spamming to an affiliate contact.
Yeah.
So what are some of your tips and tricks? How do you go about an outreach? How do you manage to get touch with some affiliates that it can be very, very complicated?
I guess there are a couple of paths here. Your average outreach will be done in the traditional way that we know. Email, I would say automated, but unique in a way that it doesn't sound like AI. It has to be personalized as much as possible. And the outreach goes to a specific person, plus the person is added on LinkedIn. So just as you said, we do it across all verticals as an agency, and we provide the list for brands as well, saying like, look, we are reaching out to these people, add them on LinkedIn. This is your future partners, let's say. Yeah. So this part is ongoing always. If we're looking for top affiliates and specific contacts, that's a complicated one. And in this case, the simple message might not work because they, as I said, they get loads of messages, loads of requests from existing affiliates from, hey, my friend told me that I can speak to you. So, I made, let's say, a pause in actively working in the iGaming industry for like 5 years. And when I came back more involved, there were still people that I knew from all days, but a lot of people have changed. Meaning I had to also look for contacts, which is normal. So, for example, some of the top affiliates that sort of knew me from before personally didn't reply. So I had to look for personal intros from other people. And sometimes it took like a year, half a year. And that is, I guess, okay, because I know how much we used to screen, even all those years ago, how much we used to screen the new brands coming in. The difference, I would say, we try to answer to everyone. I had a very strict rule for my team. The answer has to go in the first 48 hours, I think. If there is a request from the brand, you have to respect the brand, go out and reply to them, even if it's a polite no, or we will talk to you in like a year when we will see if you are still around. But today there is so much noise that I guess some of the brands, some of the affiliates, some of the people are becoming numb in a way. So in this case, what works? Personal connections and conferences, live contact. If you are too junior to have personal connections, go to your management, go to CMO, to CEO, or someone else in the team and say like, look, I need introduction with this person. I see that you have connections with someone who knows him or her. Look for those introductions directly as much as possible. And in the conferences, obviously, you can't come in and stay in the corner. That's the world where you have to go and talk and talk and talk. Nobody cares who you are. They will forget you in 5 minutes, but it's your job to make it work for you. Be ready with your business cards, LinkedIn, QR code, or whatever. Get the contact. Again, it's not for everyone, obviously. That's where affiliate marketing is very specific as a niche for people working in it. You have to be able to leave aside, your fears, or like, I don't know, today is not the day to talk to people. Well, it is what it is. You put a smile on and you go and talk to everybody in the room. So I would
Yes.
say that's, yeah,
Your network is your net worth, right? This can be used
totally.
very commonly, but
Yeah.
it is very true. I love how you mentioned the personal connections. There is always, the industry is very large and very small at the same time. And if you really go through your connections, you most likely will see who is connected with someone else who you really need to get in touch with. And the cold outreach, although all of us still do it, it's still extremely hard to get that connection. It could work out in some cases, mostly if they will see the potential why to connect with you on that regard. I actually there was this guy a while ago. I forgot what he was selling, but he was doing a lot of outreach. I think he was maybe working in fintech or somewhere where, like you are a business development and
Payments.
you have to message everyone in the industry to try and speak with someone. And most likely no one will want to speak with you. That's the sad truth. So he came up with this idea, and I remember till today, and this was like 5, 6 years ago, he was sending messages on LinkedIn. He, rather than sending a message, he films a video. He films
Yeah.
a video of himself talking, and he mentions your name. So he personalizes the video as well. So he doesn't just send the same video to everyone. He actually creates a video and says like, hi, Megle,
Yeah.
or hi, Victoria. And that's really, it's a hook. It's a
It
short
is.
hook, but sometimes that's what's needed, to get an attention of that person. I'm
I
not saying that
remember this
everyone
guy.
should send.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone should start sending, video messages. Let's not do that. But it's just taking a little bit more of a creative approach sometimes can be useful as well.
Or just playing around with the subject lines. I had a couple of cases where affiliate was not replying, and it was a big affiliate, and in different industry. And as a brand, we were a big brand. He still ghosted us. One day, I just said like, okay, it's been like half a year or whatever of us reaching out, outreaching. Sorry, I just wrote email with a subject line. You're not taking your $50,000 from us. And that's it. I think he replied the other day. So
That's
um,
brilliant.
she's like, why? I was like, well, you tell me why.
So good. Yeah, sometimes you just need something to get them
Yeah,
answer you so you can again restart that conversation.
yeah. It's one thing. It's harsh, but it's true. Nobody cares about your brand. Sorry, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you will write this much information. Affiliate knows what he's doing, what they are doing. You know what you're doing. Write a one-liner, basic info, most important information. Look how the affiliate people, how those people who you want to talk to, how they communicate. Do they like longer text and explanations? Do they like very short and straight to the point content? Mimic it, and make it, personalize it in that way.
Agree a lot on this one. You will meet different people, and you have to get a feel what kind of communicators there are, and you have to find that way to communicate with them. Because if
For
you're gonna
sure.
send a long email to someone who just occasionally answers your short Telegram messages and just writes okay,
Yeah.
and you're gonna send him a long detailed email or her, it's very likely that email will never even be opened or read. A very good point there.
Let's be fair, we sometimes do it ourselves.
Yes,
Well,
yes, I am guilty of that. I can't say no. So Since this series is 20 women in iGaming, so we are focusing on a female angle here. And my curiosity is here to speak with different females in the industry, different roles, different experiences. Can I ask you about imposter syndrome, or if you ever felt underestimated? It could be a conference, a commercial negotiation, whatever it would be. You mentioned you started when you were 25, female. I'm assuming you go alone to these conferences. Majority of people probably are males.
Imposter syndrome is forever, I would say. It comes and goes, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Cases where a woman, unfortunately, is or was undervalued in our industry, numerous, too many. As a young woman at that time, I was not, it was hard to imagine that somebody who was this age can be like a C-level executive. And at first, I remember I spoke to some, over the time, I spoke to some of the previous clients from operators when, we parted ways. So I moved to other industries, etc. And I remember some of the conversations we have when they said like, yeah, you came this like young girl. We thought, what would you know? And then you beat us with the numbers and smile and say goodbye. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. So I guess fake it until you make it from the courage side works. Yes, first conferences I attended, I was going alone, and I had to talk to all your big names at the start. Like still poker stars on full tilt, yeah. 888, Unibet, William Hill, all those, bwin, Party Poker, all those like brands that now are consolidated, changed the names and everything. So, and they were huge brands for me, huge names for somebody who just started a couple of years ago and now have to go and negotiate these huge deals with the guys in the room. My strength was data. I knew everything inside out. So from that side, I knew everything. But yeah, like I was still a bit scared, it's a new world. I have to go and approach people I've never met before and negotiate something. It took me, I would say, like 2 free conferences to fully get in like the mode, and that was all that was needed to overcome any fears. Also, I would never stay silent if I was approached with a nasty remark or sexist remark. You would get something back from me if you would say something. And I think that's an important strength. I was not like harsh or unpolite, but
You were straight to the point.
Yeah, I was straight to the point. Yeah. I would say this helped me build some very, very great relationships and friendships, and sort of not being looked at as a woman, but just as a professional working with a professional.
Yeah. You picked your strength. I like that a lot. You knew what you know. So, of course, it's scary when you're going there first, and in some cases, probably till today, but you know what you're strong at. It's interesting for me how imposter syndrome works. So, I feel like I never too much thought about it because in general today in our industry there is a lot of females. We are seeing a lot of females, and even myself kind of pushing this podcast to speak with females, I do see how many smart women work in this industry in very, very high roles as well. So we can't complain on that regard. But I did have an incident recently. It was in Barcelona. I went to a partner event, and this was a new partner, not someone that maybe I didn't have correct expectations before going to the event, and it was all male. I have never ever attended an industry event before that was all male. And they were, for the first time in my life, I felt like I know nothing. For that moment, it's interesting how it works on you. Forgot what I know, even doubted myself when speaking with them. Because even again, not to speak badly about the partner, I'm not saying no one was offensive to me in any way or sexist or kind of that I don't know what I'm talking about. I think my inner voice while standing there was telling me, what are you doing here? Like, you know nothing. Like, these people are much older and much smarter than you. And why are you even here?
It's not your place to be. Yeah.
Yes, it gives you that cold shower. And earlier in a year, I interviewed this girl, and she had a rule for imposter syndrome because she works with AI. So again, she works in a very male-dominated industry, and she said, I let imposter syndrome happen, but I only let it happen for one day. So it means that one day I felt maybe like crap. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt bad, but next day I will wake up and I will be back to normal, you know? So that's exactly how I use that. I remembered her thought, and that event was very difficult for me personally. It kind of really affected me. But then I said, like, this was just one day, you know, I can't let it keep on
Exactly.
repeating and doubting
Yeah.
myself.
You'll never, I mean, like, I have imposter syndrome and I talk about it loudly because as a young woman, I had no one, honestly, I had no one to talk to, no one to rely on in terms of like mentorship. And I talk about it loudly because I, I think if at least one person, one woman hears it and it helps her to overcome some of the struggles, I'm happy to do that. I'm not scared to say that I still have imposter syndrome, but you will never see that. I will never show that I have it. You ask me a question, I don't know, I will say like, let me come back to you. I can't remember. I don't know it yet, or I don't know it now. I will come back to you. That's okay. Yeah.
Yes, love that. For our last question, do you feel like women take partnership building differently? Do you believe that that's actually a real thing?
Again, there are always various cases on both sides, but I would say yes. Yes, in a way, women really can be better at building relationships, long-term relationships in the professional environment because they are a bit more attentive to the details. And I know for myself, for example, we think in layers. We never have like just one thought. I love my husband, and we both worked in the iGaming industry, and you know that's where we met. But his way of thinking, for example, is like this, like for sure. He's, you know, that's the only thought, and like this is how it goes. I love it. That makes life easy. And I think, you know, 10 different parts.
In 100 different angles, right?
Exactly.
Every possibility.
Yes. Where maybe sometimes it helps. And again, men do this, some men do this as well. But sometimes overthinking or thinking in few layers helps you see how it can be useful in the long run. And it's not to exploit the partnership, but to think how the attention can help you build a stronger partnership. Remember, I don't know, the birthday. That's a simple one, yes? Remember where you last had a great dinner for the next conference. Or, I don't know, ask if everything is okay if you see some political things happening in their country. Small things, not too personal, but small things can really build very strong and friendly partnerships. And again, in the work environment, this actually is even more important. Hey, I noticed a tracking issue, but you know, we fixed it and we will give you the average commission for that month or a week that you usually make, okay? Come forward first. Show attention. Show attention to details in the data, in the numbers, or hey, I noticed that our competitor on your review doesn't have a link. For you, it's like a small thing. For the partner, you're showing that you don't only care about yourself, but you're making that extra step. And yeah, I would say women sometimes think more of it.
Yes. Actually, I always think about partnerships the way that you do not only work for the company you're actually working for, you're also working for your client's company, right? Because that's how
Yeah.
you create that partnership by thinking of what success means to them and how can they actually succeed. So I really like your take of women. I guess nature-wise, us, we are just more overthinkers, as you said. So we do think 100 possible angles, and that definitely helps to build some strength in partnerships. Okay, thank you, Victoria, so much for joining. We had a very good conversation. I'm sure this is going to be useful for many people in the industry. And as you mentioned, if this can help even one woman or one person, I think we succeeded in that way.
Totally agree. Thank you, Migla.